Oh, hey everybody. Looks like you caught me in the middle of tree chopping. This is my alpha world. Specifically, I'm in my tree farm. It's one of my favorite things to do in this world is chop trees. I don't know why. Alpha is pretty grindy. There's not a whole lot of materials to work with. Wood and stone really are the main ones. I have a quarry where I dig stone, and I have a tree farm where I get wood. Both of those things are pretty time consuming. But I think I generally prefer chopping trees to mining stone. Maybe it's because I can compartmentalize it easier. Like, instead of one block at a time, it's one tree at a time. Maybe that's one way to look at it. I don't know, I just like it. Trees go really slow in this version, a lot slower than in modern, and there is no bone meal. You might have heard that. Well, hello. And mob pathfinding is terrible. Interesting. There's 43 trees in this zone. That's not a whole lot. I want to make this place bigger one day, but not today. Let me finish up chopping all these trees real quick. Alright, that was the last one. Now for the best part. Alpha Fire. Really fun to watch. Yeah, if you'd like to just chill out and listen to me talk about tea and other random topics, stick around, because, well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. You know, I should probably get over there and stop that house from burning. This little building right here, this was the first structure in the entire world that I built. Built it out of wood, and then I added the tree farm. And then I realized leaf decay doesn't work, so I needed to use flint and steel to get rid of the leaves, and, well, I've just been burning them ever since and putting out any fires that catch on the house. I mean, it's small. If it burned down, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Oof. I just replaced it with stone, something that wouldn't burn, obviously. But so far, it's lasted a while, which is nice. Alright, yeah. Looks a lot different when there's no leaves in it. I like to try to make a point of keeping all my bases in this world well stocked with logs. And I was noticing that my quarry area was completely out. I had used them all up, so I went here, chopped them all down, and now I'm going to make a delivery. So here we go. A better view of the tree farm. It's not huge. I'm working on it a little bit. There's this tower that I added here that I really like. I have this little lava fall in the center. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, right. Yeah, there's still some kinks to work out with the minecart boost system. I tried to fix it. Minecart boosters, they work really weirdly. If another minecart comes down a track at an angle like this, they'll kind of like latch onto each other and push each other like infinite momentum. It'll give it a boost. That's how I got from here to here. This one, I'm supposed to hit this one, latch onto it, and get a boost going that way, and then this one is supposed to turn around and go back into place. But I think that when I come up here, it gets stuck on it. It gets stuck on the minecart from this side. So I'll have to figure it out some other time, really. Anyway, here we go. Here's a nice view. There's the Mario. I said talk about tea, but I'm not drinking any tea right now. I'm eating some ice cream. This is Traverse City Cherry Fudge. It's super tasty. I don't eat ice cream that often, but I don't know. It was calling to me. Traverse City Cherry is really a Michigan thing. That's where I'm from. That's where all the cherries come from. Alright, here we are, center of the world. This isn't where I wanted to stop, but I do have to check out my wheat farm that I have up here. Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time here, so there's not a lot of time for it to grow. But I figured it'd be nice to have a little farm in the center of the world in case I needed to heal up for any reason. Yeah, not a ton of growth. Also, I accidentally took the hoe that I keep here with me the last time I was here, so just want to put that back. Alright, let's head over to the quarry. By the way, this music you're listening to is by Retrovex Ambient. Usually I use a different track from him, but I figured I wanted to change things up, so I'm using a different track. It's a little bit more peaceful, maybe. Let me know what you guys think of it. We're heading towards the quarry area. This is definitely the most developed area of the world by far. This building is not finished. It will be, one day, but those two buildings structurally are complete. Yeah, here's the park area. I love this. This is so cool. Here we are, rail station. Let's head up to the storage area. Oh, yeah, I only had a few stacks of logs here. It's nice to have a good amount here. I mean, I go through them a lot. Like I said, there's not very many building blocks in this game. What I really need is some cobblestone. I almost have none. I haven't been mining in here lately just because I've just been doing other things. That's all. But yeah, I find this pretty relaxing as well. Usually I put a video on my second monitor, and I'll just chip away at blocks. I find that pretty peaceful. One of the things I've been watching recently is bear trail cam footage. I've just been watching Yeah, trail cam compilations of bears. I'm going through like a bear phase or something. They're fascinating to me. Like, they're kind of cute. I'm scared to death of them, but I like them. Something about them. Minecart tracks are awesome. I really want more of them. They're just expensive. All right, we're coming back. This isn't the best station in the world. I just kind of built it quickly as a waypoint. It's the center of the world. I think I already said that. Eventually, I want to have like a really cool big base here. Boom. I think that would be impressive. I want to have a whole city surrounding it. And I thought I would start on that. I had an idea for a building that I would put somewhere around here. My build philosophy is kind of going like this. I want to add random buildings around here and then add more buildings surrounding them and then eventually just kind of make them all fit together. I don't want the city to be a giant grid. I want to feel like it was developed organically and randomly, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to start by putting a random build somewhere. Although it is nighttime. I guess it's midnight. It's not a good time to go look for a building spot. Let's see what kind of materials I have to work with. I do want to take these slabs. I don't have enough stuff to build what I want to build, but I'll get it later, I think. Slabs can be crafted in alpha with just cobblestone, which is nice. But you only get 3 instead of 6. Alright, I'm impatient. It'll be day soon enough. Oh, company. Yeah, this place isn't very secure, believe it or not. Love that he doesn't even hold a bow. I don't know if the bow thing hadn't been added yet, or if there was just a bug that didn't let them display an item in their hands. Either way, they don't hold bows at all. Let's see if I can get a music disc. I don't know if that creeper's low down enough on health for me to get one. There's only 2 music discs in this version. There's Cat and... come on. There's Cat and 13. 13 is my favorite. Come on, man. Oh! Hey! Nice! Look at that. So, I think that, this is decently a flat area. I can terraform a little bit, but yeah, I think like right here, it is decently a flat enough area. I could probably build right here. So, the thing I want to build is a bear sanctuary. Or maybe it's more like a bear exhibit, but I have bears in the brain. I told you I was watching trail cam videos. I've been thinking about this for a little while, but I just figured I'd try it out now. First, I gotta figure out what the dimensions are gonna be. I'm not totally sure. I've kind of thought about the design in my head already. Just don't know how big it's gonna be. I want there to be 4 bear exhibits in each corner of the building. So I need to have enough room for a hallway in between those rooms. The bear exhibits, they have to be a decent amount of size. Let's do, I don't know, that could be the cornerstone. So let's say, what if the exhibits were 10 blocks wide? 4, 5, 6. 6 is good enough for the hallways in between, and then another 10. This is block 10, right there. Seems simple enough. Alright, here we go. I finished putting down a little foundation, and I also finished my ice cream. It's pretty good, but I think I had too much. I don't have a massive sweet tooth. Sometimes I do. Most of the time, no. Alright, so my idea for the outside decoration of the building, which I'm going to do first, is I'm going to have like these 2 stone slab blocks like this, separated by a block. I had a dream last night that I was balding. I'm 23. I am not showing any signs of balding. I have very long, thick hair. I've never been insecure about balding. My family has always had like decently good hair. I've always had like a lot of hair. Trade-off is that I have no idea how to take care of it, but I do have a lot, right? I dreamt last night that my hairline drastically receded. There's a little patch in the middle, but the sides of my hair were still there, so I was like flowing locks in the sides and then baldish in the center. It looked horrible. I don't know why I dreamt that. If there's any psychologists watching, maybe you could try to diagnose me a little bit. I already have a disc 13 here. Yeah, but I just thought that was kind of strange. Probably means something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna head back to the quarry because I need more stone. That was it. That's all I have. And also a place to put this dirt. Always digging stone. All these buildings, all made of stone. Had to dig every single block. If you see a stone slab block, I had to dig 2 stone for that. It is the backbone of this world. It really is. I travel here so much, that's why it's probably the most developed part of the world. A lot of the stone that I've dug out of there has just gone back into these buildings, I'll be honest. I usually drop off all the items I'm not going to use while I'm mining in the triple chest. This is a triple chest if you've never seen one before. Each stone tool gets me about 65 blocks, so I gotta make them pretty frequently. Not a huge deal. Yeah, the other day I took my dog to the groomer. She's an outdoors dog, she likes to run around and play and get really dirty. Took her to the groomer and she smelled like a rose, you know, she looked super clean, super cute. Her name is Daisy. I know that is, I think the most common name for female dogs is Daisy. So not terribly original, but I love her. So there's this one time that we ordered, I think, a box of chocolate bars from Amazon, and the Amazon guy delivered it when we weren't home. So he put it on the porch right next to where Daisy always is. She just always lays on the porch. We have a concrete porch. She likes the way it feels on her. I guess it cools her off. Yeah, he put it right next to her and then left. And, you know, she's an outdoor dog, not an indoor dog. She doesn't have manners. So she just started ripping the box apart, ate all the chocolate bars. I'm not even kidding. She ate all of them. These were chocolate granola bars, so it's not like they were pure chocolate. But she ate all of them. Destroyed that box. Probably ate a lot of the plastic wrapping too. And she was fine. Literally, she never had any problems. It was crazy. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to start feeding her chocolate from now on. I probably shouldn't risk it, but I'm just glad that she never had any issues. I think her stomach is basically a garbage disposal, though. That's probably why. Also, by the way, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe, like the video, whatever. It does actually help the channel grow. And this is going to be my only job pretty soon. I have a real job, but they are letting me go on June 20th. That's going to be my last day of work. I've worked there for 4 years, meaning this will be my only source of income for a little bit. So it does help. Is all I'm saying. You know, no, no pressure. Whatever. Anyway, I'm almost done. Oh yeah, I guess I'm curious. How many of you guys also play old Minecraft? I figure if you clicked on a video that's about alpha, you're at least curious about it. Do you have your own old Minecraft worlds? If so, what version do you play? I'm just curious about it. Yeah, if you play old Minecraft, leave a comment. Yeah, I just saw this picture of a pig that I thought was really funny. It had me laughing for a little bit. Man, that's funny. I don't know. Anyway, I just cooked up some of this stone. I'm gonna need a lot of stone for this build. Whatever I can't fit and take over, I'm gonna shove into some chests over here. Let's see, how much of this can I grab? You know, I have a habit of just tossing things out instead of moving it into a spot in my inventory because I feel like it's faster. I mean, I feel like it's faster. I don't know if it is faster. It's faster. Yeah, I think I'll move, 4 stacks of cobblestone over here. No, I'll move 3 stacks and I'll put away some dirt. I have 2 pigs in real life. They're my sisters. They're very cute. Here we go. I think it'd be cool to put some other buildings around here, like just random ones, just for looks. They wouldn't have a purpose. So far, everything I've built, mostly everything I've built, I should say, has a purpose. Now, that building is for receiving the boat road, and you know that's a storage building. You can't see it anymore. The building I was just in was for the minecart station and furnaces, etc. Like everything I built has a purpose. This bear exhibit doesn't have a purpose. It's kind of rare I would build something that I don't need, but I guess that's the goal. I want to build all these areas, the tree farm, the stone quarry, so I can more effectively build things like that, you know, one day. You know, I could have taken more cobblestone if I had just gotten rid of the pork chops. I don't know why I insisted on holding on to them. Oh well. I have another question for you guys. When you're building in Minecraft, do you start with the interiors or the exteriors? I guess I always start with the exteriors, but sometimes I do the interiors first. That build that's over by my tree farm, the pit that I've dug out, is the interior. I haven't really started the exterior yet. I think I almost always start with the exterior first, then see what I can fit inside. You know what I mean? Seems logical, right? Okay, I just finished placing all the stone that I had in my inventory. I know I said I designed a lot of this in my head, but with the design as it sits right now, I kind of came up with on the fly. Let's get a better look at it. It's a nice style for an alpha build, I think. This is pretty good. I like how this looks. Yeah, I need to clear some more land away from here. I like how that looks. It looks sturdy. I think it's cool. There's a lot of space for an entrance. My idea, okay, is this. There's a square here. On top, it would be cool if I kept building up the walls in a hexagon shape. And then in the center of the hexagon shape, there's a dome, a glass dome. I think it would just make it nicer to look at from a distance. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's obviously very expensive and I need to get way more stone. So I'm gonna do a little bit more grunt work. I don't mind though. Hello, everybody. Look at this. I spent a decent amount of time quarrying out this little sand pit that I found. That's a lot of sand. It's all in my inventory now. While I was doing this, there were a few cave-ins. Okay. There was one here, you know, around here. I quarried out this area as well. There was a pretty big cave over this way. I realized that this place had really good caving. There's tons of huge, deep caves. I mean, the sand kept falling into it. It was calling to me. I don't have a pickaxe. I don't have a crafting table. And I'm not here to mine. Not right now. I'm here to fill up my inventory with sand as much as possible. I dove into this one a little bit too, till I filled up my inventory. There was another cave-in. Anyway, I need a lot of sand for this glass dome thing I'm going to build. I just made some tea, some strawberry white tea. I've had it before. I've just, you know, I've had it with me. I've been craving some white tea, but it just reminds me that I'm not terribly partial to fruit teas. And that's because when you make a fruit tea, it just tastes like the fruit. I'm tasting all strawberry and no tea in this thing. It's still good, you know, it's like warm, really watered down juice. I don't know. Maybe that's not doing it justice. It can be good sometimes, but most of the time I'd like just like actual tea. I'd go for a black tea, but black tea kind of upsets my stomach. Look at that. That was quite the reveal. It's kind of a view that I don't often get of this place. I haven't been recording in several days. I've mostly been coming onto this world and just chipping away in the quarry, just digging, whatever, and watching a video because I've been kind of stressed out, honestly, and this is easy for me to do. I don't have to think about it. It's, you know, relaxing, and I'm being productive on the world at the same time, so, you know, it's not difficult. Probably need more coal than this. I don't have nearly enough coal to cook this stuff. All right, well, let's throw some of the sand up into my crafting grid. I have this stuff I gotta worry about. I'll just take it back to the center of the world and cook it there. Also, I was kind of like looking out the end of this arcade, and there's this tree here and these ladders, so I wondered if I could get onto it. I did, and then I put a little secret in this tree. You know, it's a table, a plate, or something, and then like a painting, and then a torch. It's not anything special, but it's just like a little Easter egg, a little Alpha World Easter egg. I like putting things like that around. Let me tell you why I'm kind of stressed. In, I guess, 3 days will be the last day at my job. I've worked there since, well, for 4 years, I guess. By the time this video comes out, I will be 1 day unemployed. And you know, that makes me a little bit nervous. I went to school for film. I want to pursue video editing. Doing this YouTube channel is kind of an exercise in that. I can't get a good job without fully pursuing it, in my opinion, so it's a good thing. I'm not working where I was anymore, but still, you know, obviously it's nervous. Like, I need to be able to support myself. And because of that, I decided like I would do YouTube full time for a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of creative projects that I want to do. There's a lot of videos that I want to make, and I enjoy it. Right? When I realized that this was going to be kind of a job, like instead of a hobby, I started putting a lot of pressure on myself, I guess, to really treat this like a job. I'm trying to describe how I'm feeling. It's kind of a little difficult coming up with all the right words. Bear with me. So when I've been making videos on this channel for the past few weeks, I've felt like a lot more pressured, I guess, to have them perform well and, you know, kind of lean into the algorithm a little bit more, which I don't really like doing. Like I like to keep an 80, oh shoot, I don't have a pickaxe. I like to keep like an 80-20 balance, like, you know, 80% original, 20% kind of leaning into the algorithm, you know, algorithm stuff. And you can see that with like maybe the titles or me kind of reintroducing concepts whenever I make a video for new people, whatever. But 80% of it I want it to be legitimate, right? So I felt more pressure to like kind of maximize my output, I guess, like maximize the channel's performance. And like the videos don't do well, it's like kind of hard on me. It makes me worry, especially since this is going to be my only form of income for the foreseeable future. So I've been under a lot of stress, and honestly, I haven't recorded in a long time. I guess like a week or two. I haven't recorded anything. Part of it was because I was busy, but part of it was just because like I couldn't get myself into the mood to record, which, you know, it happens. I'm just kind of walking you through my thought process, my experience, like going into YouTube full time. I never thought I would be doing this. You know, I never really thought I would be doing this at all. Of course, it's exciting. Like, there's a lot of things that I want to do. You could say that I was getting kind of burnt out, I guess, is the word to describe it. I was getting a little bit burnt out for making videos. And part of that was because I switched from once a week to twice a week. You know, instead of uploading every weekend, I was uploading middle of the week and the weekend. And that quickly became a grind. It was literally all the time I had. I worked a 40-hour-a-week job, but I also was doing YouTube, which probably amounted 30 to 40 hours as well, to be honest. Traced out this circle up here for the dome. I'm gonna kind of like chip away at this while I sort out all my feelings, you know. So yeah, I was spending all my time doing that. Anytime I was on at work, I was doing this, and I was really stressing myself out. I wasn't getting any sleep, you know, and like sleep is a really important thing for me, I guess. It really affects my mood if I have good sleep or not. So it just kind of sucked, and I got to burn out, especially when I saw like the videos, you know, aren't performing as well. It was like the more effort I put in, the worse they do. And when I started this whole thing, that's not what I was concerned with. I didn't think that this channel was going to get popular at all. I thought that this was going to stay in the few hundred viewer range at most, and I would just have like a small kind of core audience who like to watch old gameplay and hear me ramble about whatever. And it got a lot bigger than I expected, which was great, but that's a lot of pressure. I started recording this video kind of like late, like, I don't know, 5 days ago, I guess. And then I stopped to just kind of chip away at things. I was stressed, you know, I was stressed about the situation, like the video's not doing well, the workload that I had to do, the pressure that I felt to kind of make this into a job from a hobby. Over the time that I wasn't recording, over the last like week or so, I've been trying to overcome that, I guess. To remember why I started this in the first place. It's just, I guess I never really did talk about why I started this. I may not have ever talked about the real reason why I started recording my Alpha World. I think I've said in the past it was for practice, which is true, or it's, you know, to experiment, which is also true. I've done quite a bit of that. But one of the first things that inspired me was a conversation on Reddit. I think, like, occasionally I'll go to the Golden Age Minecraft subreddit, and I'll just see what people are posting pictures of, you know, old Minecraft stuff. I like that. And sometimes I ask questions, I'll answer questions, whatever, because I'm, like, slightly knowledgeable on the subject. Anyway, there was this thread asking for, like, good old Minecraft series to watch. This person said like, oh, I watched, you know, X's Adventures in Minecraft, you know, I watched some old Ethos stuff, like, what are some other good ones? There's like 2 people who responded, and they said, oh, I don't really have an answer. There's like people who start it these days, but it's not the same. You know, it's kind of like more ADHD, modern YouTube kind of thing. And I was reading this, and I'm like, you know, I would like to be the guy. I would like to be the guy that has, you know, like an old Minecraft series that people can watch, that's not overly edited, that's not hyper active, you know, that's really simple, just a dude talking about the game and talking about life, just chill, you know, like back how it kind of used to be, even though I didn't watch YouTube back then. I never watched YouTube as a kid. I didn't have internet. So I never have those memories, but a lot of people do. And so I just kind of experienced this desire to have a series. You know, to like just to have something people could watch, just a series that people might find, they could watch, they can enjoy. You know, that's simple. It's not in your face or crazy. That's what I wanted, right? And so I've been trying to remember that, and I finally kind of gotten over the worry, you know, the pressure that I've been putting on myself for this. I've kind of just gotten over it. I've kind of adopted more of a laissez-faire attitude, like, you know, just, oh well, right? I like making the videos. I like the laid-back style of editing. I like recording myself playing Alpha. I like to talk, and I like to talk about tea and other things that happen, and I like interacting with people in the comments, right? That's why I started it. So it took a little bit, but I finally kind of like let go of all that stress, and I'm better off for it. If the channel doesn't do well, oh well. If it does good, that's great. I don't want to let it get to me. I don't want to let it affect the style of content that I make. But that was probably kind of a long rant. It's my channel, so I can do what I want, you know? Anyway, this is what I've been working on. I chipped away at this a little bit, this structure. I think it's doing good, though I need some glass. I definitely need some glass for the dome. And I thought it'd be cool if I had some smaller windows underneath the dome. That would be really cool. I'm gonna have to really figure out this floor plan a little bit better, because with the dome being as big as it is, there's not gonna be a lot of room for the bear exhibits in the corner, right? Not a ton. So I kind of need to think about that. Also, I gotta design these entrances. I don't even know what they're gonna look like yet. That looks pretty cool from here so far, but I think it would look cooler if I got rid of that tree right there. I don't really like getting rid of big trees because they're neat. You know, they're different from all these other trees. They're kind of more organic, but it's in the way. It's blocking my view. Probably gonna chop it down eventually anyways. Let it burn, baby. Oh, I gotta chop this tree too. The fire spreads fast, as I've probably mentioned many times. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Time for the big reveal. Ah, there we go. I missed a log. You guys get what I'm going after here, though, I think. That log is going to burn forever. It's ticked out. Timed out, I guess. It wasn't actually consumed by the fire after a certain amount of ticks, so it stays like this forever. It stays burning forever. That's how people made fireplaces back in the day. or at least before the very next update, Alpha 1.2.0, which added the nether. So sorry to talk your ear off about all the YouTube stress thing, you know. I guess I'm just worried about the videos doing well, what people think of them, that kind of thing, you know. And now I think I'm mostly over it, or I'm trying to get over it. Progress, you know, baby steps. Let me talk about a little bit what I want this to be, like what I want YouTube to be for me, right? This is not my only channel. I had another channel before this called, well, it's called Monster. And I used it to make like really various old Minecraft related videos. What am I doing? This isn't gonna be... See, I can't talk and build. But yeah, I made various old Minecraft videos. I did like one or two video essays. I did a lot of world tours. I did tutorials. You know, it was my baby, right? Like, it was the first time I realized that I liked doing YouTube. I did some gameplay on it. I did some survival series. I did some SMP stuff. But I realized, like, the way that I was doing it, I didn't really like it. I like what I do here a lot better. It's a lot easier for me to digest and do. And I think it's more suited to my style, I guess. But anyway, like beginning of this year, I tried like a more creative project. I tried to like actually work really hard on a video essay. It explained why I prefer old Minecraft over new Minecraft. Like why I choose to play that instead of new Minecraft. Like my personal opinion. And I was really proud about how that turned out. Like I put my editing skills that I've learned from university to use. And I think I came up with something pretty good. So I actually have a massive list of video ideas that I've been building up for years, like just for old Minecraft related stuff, like video essays, you know, things to talk about, things to discuss, showcase, that kind of stuff. And I've never really made a dent in it, ever. I've barely worked on it. It's because I didn't have the time. I didn't know really how to manage a channel. Now that I'm doing this full time, I would like to try to go back to that. I would like to try to work on some of those video ideas, like make some stuff, finish some unfinished projects. I'm also going to keep uploading once a week here, like I've been doing. When I'm finally done with my real job, I will of course have more time, but I'm not gonna do 2 videos a week here anymore because it's stressful and I mean it's not very creatively fulfilling. I like making these videos because they're easy and they're chill, but like there's not a whole lot of creativity involved in them, I guess. My idea is that the Monster, the main channel, will be for projects that are creative in nature, and this channel will be for chill gameplay and like unwinding and just like talking, chatting, and also trying some new games. I would like to be able to try new games or new series, you know? Like I started Vintage Story recently, a Vintage Story series. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you check it out because it's really fun. I've really been enjoying it. Like I've said before, I wanted to do a BTA series at one point. I think that'd be pretty cool. There's other stuff I want to try, other mods, other games maybe, that I could do on this channel. This channel would be for gameplay. That's the point. The other channel will be for creative things. Video essays, reviews, explainers, discussions, that kind of stuff. Maybe even skits and parodies, I don't know. I got a lot on my list. My goal here eventually, upload once a week on here, and upload like once every 2 weeks on the other channel. Granted, the other channel like isn't nearly as popular as this one, so I won't reap the same rewards, but that's okay. I mean, I find it more fulfilling. It's what I want to do. It's what I like. It may not be as popular. It may not be what everyone might be used to, but it's just what I want to do. It's kind of the shape of the dome. I'm going to freehand this thing. I'm going to try to freehand this thing. Shoot. Okay. I guess I didn't think that hard about it. If I'm uploading once a week on this channel, you might wonder how I'm going to juggle like other series in this series. Well, I think that my current plan, which is subject to change, of course, I like to have some kind of schedule. 1 week I'll upload a 30-minute alpha video. Next week I'll upload an hour-long alpha video. Week after that, I'll upload a random series I'm doing. Like, might be BTA, might be, you know, don't do it. Oh, I could have got another music disc. What a fool I am. 1 week, 30-minute alpha video. Next week, hour-long alpha video. A week after that, some random series. Could be Vintage Story, BTA, whatever I want to do. And I would like to cycle through that. I think that's a good idea. Like, for now, it might change, of course. And in the meantime, I'll be working on more creative stuff for the other channel. Man, that looks cool as heck. That dome, nice. I'm wondering if I should just look up a circle tool. Nah, I'll figure it out. It'll be great. All right, I'm trying to figure out how this is going to be shaped by using dirt. Oh man, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Shoot, I may have to cave and just do do a circle tool. This is tough, man. I think I gotta copy the same pattern down here, though. One thing I think I want to start doing is I want to go back to like how I was originally titling the videos. Like recently I've done like calm, chill, relaxing, Minecraft to cry about your childhood to, or like whatever, or like rest, relax, just like one word thumbnail stuff. Like I feel like that's kind of generic. I was doing that, of course, to try to appeal to like the algorithm's whims, but I don't really like those titles. What I used to do is I used to just call it like alpha gameplay to avoid your taxes to, or something like that. That was a title that I liked. Like alpha gameplay to watch paint dry to. You know, I thought those were kind of funny. So I'm gonna go back to stuff like that. I'm gonna think of some more titles that kind of fit in that, you know, line of thinking. I thought they were a tad silly. I want to see how this looks from afar. Ouch. Some other videos I've been kind of working on that I haven't gotten a chance to work on the other channel. There was this BTA iceberg I started ages ago. It was about all the upcoming features the developers were planning on adding to the mod. I've never really gotten a great chance to work on it. I mean, that looks like a spear to me. A spear? Is it sphere or spear? It's sphere. Of course it's sphere. What am I talking about? And, you know, I want to wrap that up. I want to get that done. I've always wanted to make an iceberg video. I think that they're cool. You know, they're a lot of the time they're like got the spooky music over it. You know, they're unnecessarily spooky and cryptic, and then the subject is just like really simple. And I want to do that. You know, I think that'd be fun. I just want to try it. It's a tough one. I'm out of dirt. Oh no, I need the dirt. Ooh, see, I have piles and piles of dirt. I have tons of dirt back at the quarry, but that's so far away. Plus, I need to probably remove a lot of this dirt at some point. I think it would also be cool to do like joint releases. So like release a video on the other channel and a video on this channel at the same day that correlate with each other. Maybe I would launch the new BTA gameplay series on this channel the same day I upload that iceberg. I think that'd be cool. And stuff like that. Also, after I've said all that, I really do appreciate what I got. I really appreciate the people that are still watching me. You guys are my lifeblood, especially the members. I could not do this without you. I need to eat. You guys are putting food on the table coming up. So I do really appreciate it. It means a lot. You guys are my lifeblood. And it's cool to have like a community of people with a shared interest as niche as this one, I think. Thank you again. I think that's a sphere. I think I figured it out. I think that's a sphere. No, it's not. Hold on, let me fix something. I think I could do this. Is that too much? Make it a little wider. I think that looks a little better. I'm not really sure. You know, I'll just do this. I'll do this out of glass. I'll do the whole thing. Glass it up. If it looks weird, I'll change it. It's not a big change. Alright, catch you then. Almost fully complete. I like to get this dome finished before the sun goes down so you can get a good view of it. Glass isn't the easiest to build off of, especially when it's so noisy, like how old Minecraft glass is. The new glass looks a lot cleaner. It's one of the changes that I think was good, but basically the only reason I like this old glass is because it definitely has an indie feel to it. I like that kind of thing. Alright, let's get a real look at this place. Alright, that looks like a dome to me. I think it turned out well. I'm kind of proud of myself. I didn't use a sphere tool or a circle tool or anything. Freehanded that whole thing. I almost gave up a few times, but I did it. Anyway, I still gotta figure out the entrances, the interior, the exhibit part. I'm gonna probably work on the layout and get the entrances done, and then I'll come back to you. Alright, little update here. I finished all the entrances on every single side of the building. They're pretty simple. I liked it this simple. I wanted something that wasn't super complicated. And I think that looks pretty good. I like how this building is turning out, honestly. Alright, inside here, this is what we have for the interior so far. The hallways, you know, those are done. I'm realizing this isn't going to be nearly as spacious as I want it to be. I'm starting to think that maybe I need to make these windows fake windows. Because I want the bear enclosures to be, you know, somewhat roomy. You know, I want the bears to have room to roam around in. Right now it's looking like I'm gonna have to start the walls like this, and I don't want to do that. I would rather start them like right here, you know, have the hallway extend to this block and then have the open area. I think that would be a better alternative. Either way, I'm gonna have to figure something out about that. It's not a huge deal. But yeah, I think this is turning out really cool. Like, I haven't really built anything like this in this world before. I'm liking it. I'm liking the big glass dome on top. I'm imagining, you know, once this place is a city, I'm imagining like the skyscrapers that are going to be around this building and like a grass strip around it, a park, little trees, things like that. Super cool stuff. This thing eventually needs to be completely replaced, and I'm not sure how to do it quite yet, but it'll have to be done at some point. I want a big skyscraper here. I've thought about a few designs in the past, but you know, we'll see what ends up actually happening. But yeah, isn't that cool? Nice. Alright, I'm taking down some of this nasty scaffolding that was up here. I think I got it all. Alright, so this is what I have for the interior so far. I built these enclosure things. I think they turned out really well. I kind of came up with a way to keep those windows up there and also have like enclosures that had some significant amount of space. I wanted you to be able to enter the building and be able to look left and right into the enclosures and also be able to look at larger windows from out here. So I think this is a pretty cool layout. The dome still looks awesome from here. This looks super cool. Really love how this turned out. I guess I have to fill that in with cobblestone to make it look nice, don't I? I can do that really quickly. I don't know if I talked about this yet, but one of the main things that kind of inspired me to do a bear exhibit is the game Voima, which is a sandbox game that's in development. And it's like bear themed. It's really cool. I've seen some of the trailers for it, and I didn't think I was going to play it until I had a dream about it, like I dreamt about it. And so I decided I would check it out because I just kept thinking. And it's really cool. It's like dreamlike. It's not like, you know, lonely or liminal or spooky or whatever, analog horror, blah, blah, blah. It's none of that. It's just a chill. It's relaxing, you know. I like it. And it has a lot of really interesting creative problems. Yes, it has blocks, but the blocks aren't blocks like Minecraft. They're really just objects you can kind of put down. You don't have to place them on a grid like Minecraft has. You don't have to place a full block. You can place any kind of size block. You can draw shapes and create shapes from nothing, different materials. You play as a bear running around. I mean, it's just... Maybe I should show some of the trailer footage to really kind of give you an idea of what this game is like, because it's pretty interesting. I've been playing that a little bit, and it is a learning curve. I will say that the main developer, Vaultsu, has done a really good job of making it as intuitive as possible so far, because there is a lot you can do. There's a lot of creative opportunities. You know, I would imagine it's kind of difficult to make easy to understand. So he's done a good job. So yeah, I was on a bear kick and I wanted to build this place. Also, I love listening to the guy from the trailer go, "Build your own special forest and bring all your shapes to life." So, you know, I don't know. It's just like the trailer guy's just perfect. All right, I thought about the center of this being a circle that's like a little bit lower, but honestly, I don't really know how that would fit. So instead, I think I'm gonna make a kiosk in the center, like an info center. There you go. You can maybe talk to a professional here. I don't know. Not a lot of working space, but who cares about that, right? I just kind of figured out that there's not a really great way to get into these exhibits. You know, that people who feed these bears, they need a way to get inside. There's kind of space. I could make a false wall in the back and then have like service tunnels running around, but there's not a really good way to access them, now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll do a kind of a cheap out and I'll build like a little maintenance shed outside, and that's going to be an access to the tunnels inside, something like that. We'll worry about that another time, I think. All right, well, let's put some glass in here, and then I want to get started working on these exhibits. I'm going to leave entrances to them for now. All right, cool. Looks good. Now comes the difficult part. I want to have 4 types of bears. I want to have a black bear, brown bear, polar bear, and panda bear. I want the black bear and the brown bear to be kind of like opposite each other diagonally, and then the polar bear and the panda bear to be the other two, right? So let's start with the polar bear. I want to see if I can make this work. My idea for the polar bear exhibit was to do a lot of snow, but also give it like a little iceberg to sit on. And that means I need to get all this snow underneath here. Mine up a bunch of snow. Shouldn't be too difficult. But that means I need ice, like icebergs, and I'm going to have to destroy the roof to be able to do that. Ice needs sky access to freeze. This is true even in modern Minecraft. I'm going to have this false wall in the back. Yeah, something like this. I'm gonna need a lot more snow than this to make this place work. I don't know how I never realized this before, but putting a block of snow on grass turns it into, the snow texture for grass. Like snow layers do that, obviously, but I didn't know that snow blocks did that. So now I'm wondering, oh, okay, look, it died. That's so weird. I don't know how any of that works, not a programmer. Anyway, this is what the exhibit's looking like. It's a little dark. We're gonna brighten it up at some point. I wanna have this area be kind of deep, like a deep pool. And then at the bottom, I'll just put like stone or something. Because you won't be able to see it. I'll fill it with water, and then I'll cut a hole in the roof and allow it to freeze. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Somehow it had just enough snow to fill in this hole and do all this. How about that? Gonna hold on to that. Okay, here's another thing I just learned. So I thought, I already have this natural 2x2 space. I'll just use it to make a water source. I can't do that, even though these are above slabs. So technically, I guess they're transparent blocks and water can't, renew itself over transparent blocks. That's interesting. I figured it would be able to. That means I'm gonna have to like make one outside or something. Also, I raised this little kiosk. I think that it needed a little something. I want to be able to put signs here, like advertising tickets. Although if you're inside here, you're already seeing the bears, so maybe that's not efficient. All right, there we go. Here's our polar bear exhibit. I'm still waiting for one more ice block to freeze. This one. Hooray! All right, I gotta plug these holes up. Oh, I missed. I had just enough blocks, I think, to completely fill this hole here. Nice. And then there we go. Ta-da! Here's our polar bear exhibit. A lot darker. So I'm gonna stick some torches in some hidden places. I don't want to risk melting the snow, so we are gonna try to be as careful as possible. That's high enough, I think. That's good enough. I think it won't melt anything. And maybe like one right there. That's enough torches. So I'm gonna build this bear, and I'm gonna do a little bit of artsy-fartsy stuff to make this happen. So, all right, here's how I'm gonna do this. First, build the body. He's a tall guy. Polar bears are probably the biggest bears next to Kodiak bears. Let's do little arms. He's standing up, and then the face. So I'll do a little bit of sign art. The way that I picture polar bears is that they're the deadliest bear. They're very strong and effective killers. They have to be, because there's very little food where they live. And also very stoic. So let me kind of think about how I want to do this. Let's do I think these square ears could be cool. Might look kind of goofy. That's starting out kind of strange. Okay, there's a face. That looks kind of like a bear, right? I'm wondering, his muzzle looks really small and his ears are kind of in a weird spot. I'm gonna do a little bit editing, but that's not a bad start, right? Huh. There's that. I like his ears, but he looks like too happy. His kind of face makes him look like he's real happy. That kind of face might look better on the black bear. Let me change this. There we go. I don't know what I was thinking. I hit that little dash by accident, but I was like, oh, it looks like a really thin mouth, Like, he's just staring at you. He's got these blank eyes like he's ready to get you. There are his ears, his eyes, nose, snout, and mouth thing. There we go. There's the polar bear. Let's close this guy up. He's dangerous. Boom. There's the... Okay. Now I'm realizing, for the brown bear and the black bear, and I guess the panda bear too, I want to have, foliage. I want to have trees and stuff. And that means you need to grow trees inside the exhibit, which is not going to be easy. So I'm going to have to remove the roof, probably, again. Or at least give it a lot of time to grow, because it just takes a long time. I'm going to fill out these floors with dirt and plant a bunch of saplings. And whatever ones take, I'm going to keep. And while I'm waiting for those to grow, I am going to just grab resources. Alright, I went AFK a bit, I ate, and I went and grabbed some more resources that I thought I might need. And some of these trees grew that I planted. Not all of them, but that's fine. I will be able to work with the bushes that I have. At least I think. Those ones I'm still kind of waiting on. So this one had 2 trees grow. I think that's good enough. I'm going to have to kind of make them fit, trim them down a little bit. My idea for the black bear was to make the back wall out of solid logs, and I'm realizing I probably don't have enough to do that. I'm sure I have some at the center of the world base. It's kind of hoping some more of these would grow, but you know, that's all right. While I was AFK, we got some storm warnings, and this crazy storm came through, sweeping across Michigan. So, you know, I made a backup of this world. I turned off my PC, unplugged everything, because I don't want it to get fried. You know, I have too much to lose. Storm passed through. The power didn't go out, thankfully, but I was just on the porch outside watching it because I love storms. Storms are awesome. I find them endlessly fascinating. My dog was a little scared, so I was out there with her. And like suddenly this, you know, lightning streaks across the sky. I hadn't seen much lightning in this storm, but there was a lightning strike, and it was very, very close to me. It was in a farm field just a few hundred feet away, I guess. And I saw it. And I'm like, oh, that's going to be loud. And I heard it a few seconds later. It sounded like a cannon going off by my ear, like the actual pop it made was crazy. Extremely loud. And there was even a little aftershock pop, which was interesting. It was like a boom right after. Must have been an echo, maybe. But it was so loud, it hurt my ears, man. And what was really cool, that something I haven't seen, was after the lightning dissipated, there was like a trail of little fireballs. You know, little bits of fire in the air, like along the same path that the lightning bolt was. Come to think of it, I've seen that before. Videos of people getting up close and personal with lightning. Like if you're really close to lightning, as soon as it dissipates, there's little bits of fire hanging in the air, which is pretty cool. I've never seen it, but I saw it today. It must be the oxygen on fire or something like that. I don't know what that is. Of course, it was only there for like a quarter second. Not very long at all. Anyways, pretty cool. So I want to think about how this looks. Probably going to destroy these. So I have these 2 trees. I thought it would be cool to have some log pillars to make it look like a big forest, you know what I mean? Like this. I think that would be kind of a neat look to the whole place. Yeah, now it looks foresty, you know? I mean, the trees are short, but it's chill. Now, there's not a whole lot we can do about foliage, but we can add some flowers and maybe some mushrooms or something. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna grab some flowers real quick. I know I have some over here. While I was waiting for the storm to pass, I did a tea ritual, like an actual ritual. It's called Gong Fu, and I took a bunch of pictures of it because I didn't want to. I didn't want to ruin the experience by trying to film the whole thing. I don't have any roses, man. I do have mushrooms though. I tried some tea that I had gotten 6 months ago and really hadn't had a chance to try because it takes a lot of time. It was pretty neat. I've already done the tea segment in this video, so I'll talk about that in the next one, I think. Anyway, let's think about torches. Fit as many torches in here as I can. I'll fit some behind these trees, I think would be good. You know, I actually liked how the back wall was dark. I think I'm going to remove them for the vibes, right? And I don't really have to worry about mobs spawning here because it's leaf blocks, right? Do have to worry about it there, though. Well, if any mob spawns here, they're going to get stuck, like right there. It'll be fine. Yeah, I'll leave these torches here. That looks good. There we go. All right, let's make the brown bear. This is going to be pretty simple. This one, he's also tall. He's going to be kind of staring out the glass, I think. So maybe I should push him back one, actually. Yeah. There, now he has more room. There's Mr. Bear. All right, for the face. I want to do something similar that I did for the last guy, but make him more happy. So let's do... There you go. Ear, ear, eye, nose, line, mouth. He's more serene. He's more chill. Let's get a look at him. There he is. He's in captivity. That's beautiful. Awesome. All right, I think this turned out well. Let's close him up. Wait a minute. I just realized I did this incorrectly. Yeah, I wanted this to be the brown bear. I wanted this to be the brown bear because I was going to make this enclosure more rocky and like mountainous. I wanted this to be the black bear because it's more forested and chill. Because black bears are more chill. Oh man. Okay, so let me redo this. There you go. He's got ear, smaller nose, and a little smile. How about that? Cute, right? Yeah, he's happier. You know, black bears are basically giant raccoons. Okay, goodness. There we go. Fixed. This guy is supposed to be the brown bear. I was growing a tree down here because I was hoping I could like shape it into a bush, but probably not. So what I am gonna do, I'm gonna shape this tree into like a sparse tree or something. Growing trees is a big pain because it's unpredictable, very time consuming. It's kind of like gambling, you know? It's like a little brushy tree, right? All right, this one's gonna be tough because, you know, very limited space to fit in a lot of detail. What I think I'm gonna try to do, okay, let's trace out a mountain here, a mountain kind of like around this tree. So like two hills, kind of like that, maybe. I think like around the base, I'm gonna stick some gravel. You know, let's do some gravel down here. It's kind of like the talus that are at the end of mountains. This is the peak of the mountain. I kind of feel like I should throw some snow on top if possible. I think that'd be cool, right? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. All right, while I was waiting for the snow to accumulate, I finished decorating this place up. And this is my favorite so far. Look at this. I got the little mountains with the snow. Got a little waterfall with a river. And I changed this tree to look more like a pine and to kind of like be smaller. I think it turned out pretty well. I like this. I like this a lot. So this kind of looks like Alaska a little bit. You know, there's a lot of like stony mountains and then boulders and gravel and stuff. And then there's messy rivers with lots of sediment. And the brown bears and grizzly bears like to go fishing in the rivers. So I figured it's only appropriate to put a little fishing bear right here. Of course, I don't know how to make him actually fish, but you're gonna have to take my word for it. He's looking for his next meal. Yeah, that's a pretty classic looking bear face. Nice. Sometimes I think that this looks like a guy lifting weights. All right, seal him up. There you go. There's the grizzly bear exhibit. I love that. That looks awesome. All right, that leaves one more. And that's the panda bear. Wasn't really sure how I wanted to do this. I think I'm gonna shave these trees down. I'm gonna leave all the leaves that are against the wall here. I'm gonna kind of leave the ones up top too to make it look like there's a significant kind of canopy going on. Okay, and then through here, I'm gonna make a channel all the way across. Okay, it's just a cheap dirt channel. All right, then let's fill this with water. Maybe you can already tell what I'm about to do here. All right, and then the back wall, I'm gonna do logs again. Like, I know it's a repeat, but these logs are like more darkish, and these logs will be brighter. I think I'll add more torches here. I think that's okay. All right, now we have this very messy foliage here. Need to grab some sugarcane and some wool. Jeez, he's following me. Oh, shoot. Oh, very close. I missed the first hit. That really screwed me up. Sugarcane, one piece of wool. Next thing I'm going to do is put sugarcane everywhere. All right, and then I'm going to have a little pond right here. Little baby pond. Moss stone would look really good here, but it's really far away. Maybe another time we'll stick some inside. All right, this is kind of the environment that I want. Now the question is, where do I put the panda? I guess I'll remove that. I kind of think I should put him right here. And I'm going to do this panda a little bit differently than the other ones, since pandas are lazy bears. So I'm going to make him on the ground. Let's give him his 4 legs. And his little face is going to be over here. Panda face is tough. Okay, that's a little weird. I guess my goal here was to like make these kind of like look like spots on his face. But now I'm not really sure about that, so hold on. I don't want to do N ears, I'm going to do normal ears, dots. Maybe like slashes to make him look sleepy. Maybe I'll just do that. Maybe that would be better. This one's tough. Hold on, this is difficult. Kind of imagine him having like chubbier cheeks. This is so stupid. There we go, look at that. Sleepy bear. Um, use your imagination, okay? All right, with that, I think that's the last one. I'm gonna put some decorative signs around here too. Use the remaining bits of my wood. Well, I think this place is pretty much finished. Nearly completely. I talked about wanting to have maintenance tunnels. I'll do that another time. I'm not terribly worried about it at the moment. But yeah, we have all our exhibits. I did this help desk thing. I wasn't sure what to call this place. I mean, is it the bear exhibit? Is it the bear enclosure? Bear sanctuary? Or the bear habitat? So I went with all four. You know, whatever. But yeah, look at that. You can see the stars through here. That's super cool. I want to build an observatory sometime. I think that'd be really neat. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is an amazing way to frame the night sky. I think that's really cool. All right, let's do an official tour of this place. It's looking awesome, by the way. Here's the bear museum. And there we go. We have a grizzly bear in his little mountainous habitat. You can see his little face. He's chill, waiting for a salmon to pop out of the river. Over here we have the polar bear living in his desolate landscape, sitting on an iceberg, stoic expression, ready to kill at a moment's notice. Here we have the much more relaxed and mischievous black bear in the forest. He's happy. He's having a good time. Look at him. He's got a little smile on his face. Over here we have the very lazy and very cute panda who is fallen asleep. Probably the least bear-looking bear of this place, but he's in his bamboo forest, and he's taking a nap, so there's that. Here's the help desk in the center, the beautiful, beautiful dome. I love how this turned out. And I thought about putting some structure over this, you know, like some framing on the dome to make it look more reinforced, but I like that I decided to do it all glass. Well, that's the whole place. That just about does it. So I think I'm going to call it the end of the video. Thank you to all my members, my YouTube members, who are making this dream of going full-time a reality for me. Thank you so much. Members get access to extended versions of my videos. Extended as in just without edits. Like these videos that you're watching, if you're just watching my channel normally, they're edited down, they're cut, all the dead air is cut out, all the labor is cut out, and you guys just get to see the content and the talking. For people who maybe want like a slower pace, less edited version, that's what the members get. You know, it's like I don't really want to hide content behind a paywall, but I feel like that's a decent compromise. So yeah, thank you to my members. They also help keep the channel sponsor free. I wanna make a promise to keep sponsors off this channel completely. Anyway, I've been Monster. Thank you for watching and have a good night.